which is history persistence. So read history from a file. So in this stage, you will read history from a file using the history-r path to history file command. So test. The tester will write the following commands to the history file. So echo hello, echo world, empty line. The tester will execute your program like this. It will then send the following commands to your shell. So history-r, path to the history file, history, and then we should just see the history, echo hello world, history. Okay, with the new one being added on, because I guess this is now our history file we've got. The tester will expect the history commands to also be present in a history list. Right, so we have this being added in there. So all this is really doing is just loading up what's in a history file to the vector that we have in history. History-r should append the history file contents to the history list in memory. And then out of curiosity, how is this working? So they are writing contents to temp apple.txt, echo pineapple blueberry, echo apple orange. I mean, I want to say like that does sound like it's just those things. They don't have like numbers or anything else in there. Okay. And we don't have the history command with the -r because, invalid digit, because we're checking for, if you're a -r, that's going to be a different thing altogether than just the history command. Okay, got it. All right, so first things first. If we come in here to history and this, okay, so we have print. We're also checking how many commands to do. I'm wondering if maybe we're going to have in our library. Do I know to run print? Is that what I'm running? I think that's what we're running, right? Because, okay, so history print, the next command, and then the arguments. But because it can be a number, if it's a number, we're printing the number of history items out. But if it's a -r, we're printing something else out. That makes me think I need some kind of, not necessarily a router, but a controller. So if I have a history, should I just call it controller? So pub function, we have a controller. Let's mute self on this. We're going to take in the command IO. So mute command IO. We're going to take in arguments. And I want to run whatever this is, which means it's a result. Okay, so I guess the way we're doing this makes it simple. I just return a result of nothing and an exit error code. Okay, so we know it's going to be print if we have no arguments. So really I want to let's get the first argument, right? So if it's going to be sum, our first argument, let me not do this as an if. I think we can do this as an if, just to let sum. So let sum first argument is going to be equal to, I could also just pop this off, can't I? Because we don't need the arguments here anymore. I feel like I want to pop this off, which there might be something that's, okay. So arguments, what are you doing? Go arguments. We're going to pop you off. Otherwise, if there's nothing here, we're going to do the print. So self print, you require our command IO and our arguments, which in this case is an empty vector. So I might as well just give you an empty vector. And then we're going to return early, right? Because we're done with you. And because of that, I might as well return you like that. So that's if there is no first argument. Okay, add break starts in around a minute or so. Okay, so we have our controller. We now, if we don't have anything passing in, I kind of want to test this to see if it like prints what we expect it to. So let's just return okay here. You need to be mutable. Yes, I know first arguments isn't being used. Command IO doesn't need to be mutable yet, but it will need to be. I'm pretty sure we're going to need that. Is that true? We might actually not need that. Hold on. Let me just do this. We have ownership of it, so we just pass it through and they can do mutable. And then, so this is the only, so I come back to here. Instead of print, we're going to do controller, and it will run the commands for us. No warning, no errors, just warnings. So if I cargo run you, this is, what is this? This, I guess we're just going to check to see if history command works as normal, because nothing else does this thing, right? So if I do like echo 1, echo 2, history, that prints out as expected. If I do history like 2, that doesn't do anything as expected, and the -r doesn't do anything either. Okay, ad break has started. I am going to take a quick break and go grab some caffeine for the day or the morning, and we'll be back. Let me mute. I was talking right after muting the mic. How silly of me. Okay, so I'm gonna go take a quick break. I will grab some caffeine. I'll move the camera back into a good position afterwards because I forgot about that. I wasn't looking at OBS. And then we'll continue working on this. So I will see you shortly. All right, we are back. I've got my actual microphone unmuted this time. So we're good to go. I've got my caffeine, which I can open in a minute or two. We want to recreate the next thing, which is the history with numbers. And so in our controller, I want to check to see if this first argument is a number. So what can I do? I can attempt to parse this, and then I think that gives us an option, right? So this would probably be an if-let sum. And then this would be like the history. This would be like a count equals our first argument. If I parse you, now that gives me a result. So parse the string, but I can turn that into an option, can't I? So if I parse you into a usize, and I turn that to just okay. So if it's a number, okay. So we have this is our history count. I then want to call print. So return self. Now in this case, I'm probably returning from this. So I can just call self print, pass it the command IO. And then I can pass it a brand new vector with the count inside. And then that's just what we got. Okay. If I do that, otherwise, I just return an okay. Ooh, are you? I don't want to lose you. I was really hoping that would give me. I would not. Can I borrow? I don't want to take. When you take, that actually removes the thing. You know what? Okay, wait. It's just a string. So is this taking ownership? Can I like as string parse this? Then I need to okay you. Okay, and then the count, well, that's still a usize. Oh, the count expects this to be a string? Okay, that's toString. Now this is interesting. I can break print out into two different things now at this point in time, and I probably should. So we have print. I could have, I mean, it's just an internal function now. This does not even need to be public. So we print, we're going to have like print n. This could be an immutable borrow self. Okay, so we have just a reference to self. We have a command IO, and we have this is just a count, which is a usize. We're going to turn a result with nothing and an error exit code. And okay, so we have how many to show. This is if let sum, otherwise commands.length. Okay, so that's just how many to show, right? And I already have that completely. So this just goes away. And then, okay, so I for loop, I do this. This is now what I want to do. Okay, so let's print that out. Okay, so you go there. Okay, so for index command, commands, iter over this, skip, self commands length minus count. Get our history number is equal to the index plus 1. Okay, so we get that, and then we write that out. And then you are going to be similar, except I don't skip. So we just have print n, and then you're okay at the very end. We just do an okay like this. Cannot borrow, you need to be mutable, don't you? You're mutable there. To string. Oh, and so like then print doesn't need any arguments. Hold on, we're making this a lot. No, not print n. Print doesn't take in any arguments at all. It just prints them all. So that means down here, get rid of you. That makes you happier. This is going to become print n. Count is I don't need to turn this into a vector or anything. We just pass in count, and you're happy. Okay, so now we should have all of that working. I want to go down. Wait, did I go left? Hold on. I went left. All right, let's try this again. So if I do echo 1, echo 2, we pipe print history, and I can also do history 2, and we just do history 2. Okay, perfect. So that's working as expected. I should now be able to do the history dash R. Is that what it is? It is history dash R. Okay, so next up, inner controller. So we get to this point. I want to test to see, and then sort of looking at this is like continuing. I think maybe doing this as a probably an if let sum, and then I will do an early return here. Okay, so that way we stay in. I don't have to like tab into like an else or something like that. I think this will be nicer, because next up we're going to test to see if the first argument is a dash R, and that's what we care about. So if our first argument is equal to a dash R, now we handle that, right? Obviously I'm not doing anything with that, but let's do that now. So we're going to have a function. This is going to be load history from file. We're going to take in a mutable self, and then we also need the file name. And I don't think anything gets printed from this, right? Like it just does it. So this will be a file name, which I can be a stir. I think we're going to get it as a string, and just this will make it easier. We're going to return a result with nothing inside or an error exit code. Okay, so what are we doing here? I want to, so if we get this dash R, that means the very next thing should be the argument. It's going to be the file name. So that's, I should pop that off now. So probably something like let some file name. This is going to be our arguments. We're going to pop you off. If there is nothing else here, then I want to return an error. No, I want to actually write a message, don't I? We're going to write line to command.io standard error. Our error message is going to be error history-r requires a path, because we don't have one. We can question mark u, and then we're going to return an error exit code, new const. That. Have we used one yet? This is the first one, so you're one. Okay, so that gets us file name. What are you? Oh, cannot borrow u as mutable. So we need, okay, finally we need u as mutable. Okay, that makes you happy. Now our file name isn't being used. We need to pass that in here. So I can just return self dot, what is this? This is like load history from file, and it's the file name, which we know that we have at this point. Now it might not be a path, but it should be fine. Okay, so what are we doing here? Loading the history from a file. I want to, I guess, okay, we need to turn this into a file and make sure that the file exists. That's the first thing. And so if I let our path equals, I think we could do path new file name. This always works, doesn't it? So then the next thing I can do is I can check to see if this is a file and it exists. So if path is file, which returns true if the path exists on disk. So if you're not a file, I want to return early with an error. It's an error exit code. That's not true. I don't want to return yet. I want to first write. And if I'm writing, then I do want the command mute command.io so I can write an error. So write line command.io standard error. Okay, so I guess like error, you can probably do something like a file name is not a valid file. Then we return an error exit code, new const. This is 2. Okay, so that makes you happy. If we get down to this point, we're returning okay. Mismatch file types, expected a reference. Oh, reference, we can do that. That's easy. Okay, 2 arguments now. Expected, you now need to pass in the command.io. Okay, no errors, no warnings. This is great. We now know that it is a file, which means I want to load this up as, okay, we just want to open up and then do lines, and then we append it to history. That should be pretty simple, right? So let mute, this is our history file, is equal fs. Okay, so file, let's just do options. We want read mode, true. I don't think I need anything else. So we're just going to open you at the path. We need to map the error. I need to match this, don't I? Okay, so we're going to match you. So if it's okay, we have our file and we just pass this along. If it's an error, we have our error out here. I want to print this out. So we're going to write line to the command.io standard error, print that out, and then do an early return error exit code, new const, this 3, like that. Okay, so now I have the history file. I want to wrap the history file. So let mute. We're going to wrap the history file so that way I can get lines over it. So this is going to be a buff reader. So this is going to be our history reader, history file reader equals a buff reader new with our history file in it. I can get the lines. So this is going to be 4. I guess it's just going to be line in history file reader lines. Now, line is not the best. What really is this? It's a history command. It is, okay, so it is I probably want to match this because and print out the error in the case that it's not what I want. I can do let okay, sorry, command equals history command. Ooh, but I lose the error if I do this one. So let's actually just match this. So we're going to match history command. If it's okay, we're going to get our command. And I think I just want to simply push this into our history file. So self dot command push command. And I don't think this returns anything. So if we have an error, we're going to do two things. We're going to print our error. So we're going to write line to command IO standard error, and the return error exit code, new const. This is 4. Okay, so we've now loaded the history file, and then I think we're done here. Oh, I forgot to handle question mark. Oh, you don't need to be mutable when I get lines through it. Nice. You don't need to be mutable either. Also excellent. Okay, no errors, no warnings. So let's try this. So if let's remove test. Let's try this. I'm gonna cat to test here. We're gonna have like echo hello, echo world, maybe something that doesn't exist, and then we're done. I want to cargo run this. Let's do like echo 1. We're going to do history r test. That just worked, no errors. And then I can do up arrow. So history r test. That was echo 1, but I should be getting, ooh, I don't get that. That's weird. If I do history completely, that did not push it into the commands. Did I not wire it up? Like load history from file is not telling me it's not being run. Let's print line and see if we're getting in here. I mean, I think we are. Print line. Perhaps another way to do this is that I could print an error if it doesn't recognize that the first argument is R. So if we get to this point, I will write line, command IO, standard error, I guess, incorrect usage of history. I mean, I probably should like have some kind of help command or something. You must use, I guess it's incorrect usage of history. We'll just give the help here, right? Standard error. All right, so what is this supposed to look like? It is history with an optional count or an optional -r path. And I think that's it. I want to say that's the sort of like the standard for how to do an or. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm not going to look it up. And then we can do this. Oh, I need to, at this point in time, then just do an early return of an error. Error exit code. It's not an early return anymore. What am I thinking about? New const. We did 4 last time. So this is a 5. Okay, let's see if we get that error, because I'm really curious. That's my guess, is I'm thinking that I'm going to have to trim the -r because I think that there's something, I think that there's like a space in between these or something like that. All right, so cargo run. I want to do a echo 1. history-r test. Error, incorrect usage of history. Okay, so we get that out, which means that it did not catch the R. I'm really curious. What is the first argument? So history-r test, it's test. It's test? That's the path. So I have my first argument here because I popped you off. I didn't do another pop, and I think that, okay, I bet it's going to be, doesn't make sense to be a test here either. So history-r test. Huh, it's test. Why are you test? Oh, because if I do history like 5, it's 5. Okay, so why is -r just being ignored here? What is my arguments? Print line, arguments like that. I'm curious about what's coming into my controller. So history-r test. Okay, we have -r test. Oh, pop is always at the end, isn't it? I don't want a pop. I want it first. No wonder I'm doing this wrong. This is first. Okay, that's me being silly. I don't know why I thought, like, I just dyslexized pop and I guessed pop front. But we don't have a vec DQ, so I can't do that. Okay, so sum, first argument, get that. Now, I probably want first from this because it changed it, but it should be the same. File name, you need to be, okay, load history from file. There's no reason that you need to be, hold on, where are you? There's no reason that you need to be a string. I just did that because it was easier. So if you are a stir, that's just as good. Do not need, wait, first doesn't mutate, does it? First doesn't mutate. So can I, oh, that's, okay. So that's the reason why I was using pop, just to sort of like, because I have ownership of it, I might as well, right? Can I convert a vector to a vec-dq? Otherwise, if I basically say I want this to be a vec-dq, I can pop front. This is back to string again. Okay, you're perfectly fine, but now you're upset because these arguments needs to be a vec-dq. This is going to change everything. I don't think I can, like, into. Can I into this? Oh, I can. I can convert a. Oh, that's nice. I can convert a vector into a vec-dq. It makes sense because that should be fairly simple to do. Okay, so if we try this again, let's do echo hello, echo history r test. That worked this time. Okay, then history. There we go. Echo hello, history-r test, echo hello, echo world, the new command, and then I can also up arrow through all these ones. That's a little bit weird when I go echo hello, I go down and I get nothing, and then, oh, there's a weird bug with arrow keys like this. But that should be fine because I'm just skipping each time I'm doing that. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. Let's try it and find out if it passed the test or what other weird things it's going to run into. Okay, so we loading history from a file with the history-r command, which I know you can't see that, it's behind me, but that's okay. What? Oh, I forgot that. Okay, let's push this, and I will open up my caffeine. Okay, tests all pass. So whatever weird thing that I saw doesn't affect the test. Therefore, it's perfect, right? As long as the test passed, we're perfect. Okay, so